Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to fix your leaky Delta faucet quick and for free. Okay, so let's get started.
First question, how? How is this going to be free? Well, first off, you're on YouTube, which means you're going to fix it yourself. Okay, second, Delta faucets. I haven't owned a Delta faucet that hasn't had a lifetime warranty. So there you go. All you have to do is call them up, toll-free number, and or get on the internet, deltafaucet.com, common parts, and figure out which kind of faucet you have first. It's going to make it easier on you and them when you're on the phone with them to be able to identify the exact part you need. Most of their single-handle faucets take this cartridge RP50587, and that is what mine needed, and that's what I'm going to go through today. But a lot of the faucets are also very similar. The cartridges might be a little bit different, but the process is very similar. While you're waiting for your part, please remember to like and subscribe this video so that you can come back quickly as soon as you get your part and fix that faucet. Also, I just saved you $35, so you owe me at least a like and subscribe. Thanks. Back to the faucet. Okay, if your faucet was like mine, it was a real pain. No matter which way you put the handle to try to turn it off, it was kind of a random event. Sometimes it would turn the water off, sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes it looked like it was shut off, only to be dripping later. Ugh. Step one is to cover your drains. You don't want any parts to go down into your disposal. You're going to have to watch a whole other video on how to get that out. So put a towel, put that rubber stopper thing that comes with your disposal, cover both drains up. Again, you just be safe, don't be sorry. Next, get under your sink and turn the water supply off. There's a hot and a cold. Mine have the nice quarter turn valves, but even these are kind of hard to turn if you haven't turned them in a long time, and like most people, who's turning their water supply on or off. But make sure you get both of them. Make sure they're turned all the way off. Okay, to get the handle off, you need to take that little Delta logo emblem thing off, and you're going to need a little screwdriver and go underneath the bottom side of the emblem, and it will pop off. It shouldn't come flying out, but again, be careful and just remove that. You will then need an Allen wrench. Either an 1/8 inch or 3mm should do the job. You don't want to remove the screw all the way. You don't need to. And it's just going to be another part to deal with to try to get back in. So just give it a couple turns and you should be able to take the handle off. The next part to remove is the base, I'll call it. And it just screws off. It should come off with your hand. It's basically hand tightened on. It should be able to hand tighten off. I would not, if it doesn't come off, I would try to use something else to grip it other than a pair of pliers or something, because you will mar the finish on your faucet. So be careful with that, but it should come off no problem. Your faucet may have a design that looks something like this. It requires you to screw this other piece off of the top of it. You will probably, well, you're almost for sure going to need a big wrench or channel locks or something to screw that top off. But once you do, then it looks just like my video. The cartridge should then just pull pretty much right out by hand. Now, all we have to do is put the new cartridge back in, which sounds simple until you try to open up the package. I don't know what's going on with these packages. I thought they were making them easier. I swear I was going to make another video just on how to open the package for this thing. I don't know. I think it was the hardest part of this project. Take a quick peek in where the new cartridge is going to go. Just make sure there's nothing, no water minerals or anything like that in there. Also make sure that the orange gasket is lined up on the cartridge. Once you kind of press it into place, it shouldn't fall back out, but just make sure it's all lined up. And you'll notice there's a couple of tabs on the cartridge that line up with some holes for the tabs when you put the cartridge back in. It's pretty simple. It only goes in one way. Again, I like to wipe everything off a little bit, make sure there's no sediments or anything in there. And this piece, again, just screws back on real nice and easy, just with your hand. If you have the other design, you will need to tighten it back up with a wrench, but you will not have to tighten it very much at all. Just give it a little bit of a nudge, more than hand tight, but do not overdo it. So this switch, most people aren't going to mess with this. Where it's set, your hot and cold settings are going to be the same. If you start moving it, the hot will not be quite as hot. So if, for example, you wanted to turn your hot water heater up to, 200 or 300 degrees, but you didn't want that kind of hot water coming through your kitchen faucet, you could mess with this setting and change it. But again, I wouldn't mess with it. Okay, look at the underside of the handle and see where the lever needs to go into. Put the lever back on and tighten the Allen wrench, get the Allen wrench back out and tighten that screw back up. Press the little emblem logo back in. Test out the faucet and check it out. The handle moves way better than it used to, and it turns off way easier and way more reliably than it did too. All right, done.